That was the defendant, William Argie, on the stand talking about his love for his wife. Paul, I think we have you back. What do you think about how he performed on his examination there? Was he seemingly credible to you? Was he making things up as he went along? Or what's your thought?
Well, my thought was that the way that he was speaking did not come across as genuine. It didn't come across as
Mhm.
authentic. And even as he's talking about, therapy being a bust, he put the blame on that on his deceased wife. I mean, there's a lot that you can read into that. And I completely agree that he kind of has this persona about him that he thinks that he's the smartest one in the room and he thinks he's going to talk his way out of it. And he is so charming and he is so self-effacing that everyone is just ultimately going to come on to his side by the end of his testimony. But when you actually listen to what he said and his demeanor as he delivered it, which, as a defense attorney, anytime the rare occasions that I put my own client up on the stand, like I always tell them to be mindful of how they're coming across, how they're testifying,
Mhm.
and the way that he is speaking here, I think is important to really take note of because he's not coming across as somebody who is heartbroken over the fact that
Yep.
his wife, despite going through a divorce, has just taken her own life. It just not the right persona.
I agree.
Yeah.
It really doesn't seem like the right persona. He seems as though he is making things up as he goes along.
Yeah.
That was just Dr. Christine James. She's a deputy medical examiner, and she's testifying about what she found on Maureen's body when she examined it. Paul, it does to me sound as though it had to be homicide because she's talking about bruises on the body. She's talking about, abrasions on the body. Do you agree that of course it had to be homicide?
Yeah, it seems like this deputy medical examiner really walked the jury through everything that she found and all of the conclusions that she made to support her finding of homicide. And it seems as though that was done kind of in anticipation of a potential cross examination of, well, you're talking about asphyxia. Couldn't that have been suicide? Couldn't she have hung herself? And she really went, out above and beyond to say exactly why she did not think it was suicide and why the external factors really pointed towards homicide as opposed to somebody doing this to themselves. I felt like that would really resonate with the jury.